Okay, so tonight I would like to tell you about the potential survival of an assassination attempt on my life. And first off, let's answer why would they want to assassinate me? Well, I was starting to control the narrative, the counter narrative to the Aurora shooting. I was somebody that people were tuning into or trusting during the investigation, so there was some incentive to take me out because I started causing too much damage. And the reason I didn't tell this story earlier is that, and for instance, even though I speculated the night of the crazy theory that James Holmes was based on me because of multiple things, multiple similarities, pictures of him with porn stars. I have a picture on my profile where I'm with a porn star. I didn't Photoshop her in, but the fact that they were doing that was interesting. They also had him with a llama, and I was every day in communication with the guys that made the Nameless mod, of which there's sort of like a llama fascination, a llama cult fascination. Anyway, yeah, I didn't even mention it because I'm well aware of how it would have affected my credibility, but now I just don't even care. Now there's a huge, we're making so much progress now that I'll go ahead and say these things. So, the assassination attempt. Basically, either in late September or sometime in October, and I can't remember when, because it was something that I brushed off. But now I'm taking it seriously. And the neat thing is that I luckily called somebody right after it happened, and told them what I thought happened. So at least I have that person that can vouch for me, a friend of mine that I always talk to. So, okay, what happened? It would have been very simple to figure out my daily grind, my daily trek, because I was simply going to college. Like I said last year, late September or early October, and I don't even remember if that's correct. I can't remember. I'm judging it based on certain things that I remember going on at that time. But what I will say is that I was simply walking like I normally do. I park at my old apartment complex to catch the bus, and I was heading towards the coffee shop because I always get coffee in the morning before I catch the bus, basically. And I start heading down the sidewalk, and these two middle-aged, kind of a swarthy complexion, but not even, it was like they were swarthy but never had any sunlight, and they were a little bit balding, both the same height and very short, wearing shorts and sandals and a t-shirt, kind of unkempt looking, like strange. And both of them, from when they rounded the corner, staring directly at me. And I didn't think anything of it, but they were walking just parallel to each other, taking up the whole sidewalk, staring right in my eyes. And when I look back, I think about how this is some sort of like a glorification of their assassination attempts. Like they think, oh, I'm going to look directly into the eyes of my victim. But anyway, their expression on their face is just completely, no expression. Just, I can't even explain this. Just like I'm 6'2", but these guys were very short, and were literally just looking straight up. And as I'm walking right by them, just looking straight up into my eyes. But like I said, they basically were taking up the whole sidewalk, to the point of almost like budging me off the sidewalk. And I did sort of like have to step around them. And Nothing. I never felt anything, but I just walked by them. And then the corner that they had come out from around, a white van pulled up. And this person as well, staring directly at me. So the white van pulls up, and this guy is driving it, and this guy had, I think, very just curly black hair, maybe even a mustache, I don't know, but he's staring directly at me. And it was an older looking van. It wasn't like a nice white van or anything like that. And it was like uncomfortable, and I just kind of walked past him, and that's when I got a little suspicious. I was like, why did these three people all stare directly at me? And that kind of happens sometimes. I kind of get people like staring at me and stuff like that, but this was just a little bit weird. It was like weird to have two people staring directly in your eyes while they're walking underneath you. So I get towards the Starbucks. I round the corner. I'm guessing that the van thought it was going to pick me up right then and there or something. I don't know. Maybe they just didn't know when it would take effect. I get to the. Apparently, you don't even know what they just did to me, but I guess I'll leave it in suspense. So I get to the Starbucks, and I start getting major heart palpitations, like fluttering, whatever. It actually caused me to pause, and I grabbed the railing. And if there wasn't any pain or anything like that, it was just like a rush of blood and just like bunches of heart palpitations. And I grabbed the railing and I just calmed myself down, basically, because I have a very good conscious control over my body from. I used to have a very bad case of hypochondria and anxiety and things like that. And so I just calmed myself down. And then I just continued inside. And I got my coffee. And I sat down. And the top of my foot was extremely itchy. And I was like, what is this? So I just started itching my foot. And I looked down and it's like swelling red. Because I was wearing sandals. Swelling red, and I was itching it, and I was like, what the heck? And then I just start adding it all up. I'm like, did they just shoot me with a heart attack gun? The guys that were, almost pushing me off of the sidewalk. And I had what I had felt as far as heart palpitations was that poison or whatever taking effect. And then when I'm in here sitting there drinking coffee, the top of my foot itching and swelling and turning red, and I'm sitting there thinking in my head, like, did a fly land on me? Even when I was on the phone with my friend at first, I was like, dude, I don't know why the hell my foot's so itchy. I was like, I don't know what could have landed on it that would have bit it that would have had this reaction, So I'm sitting there thinking like, oh my god. They just tried to assassinate me. They basically just tried to shoot me with a heart attack gun. I don't know how often people survive that. I may be the first, maybe the only case of anyone surviving the heart attack gun. Obviously, I don't know, it actually went out of my mind. Like, I literally thought, no, that's impossible, that's crazy. But looking back at how effective my activities were, and summing everything up, and also having I've told people this later. I've told people about this, what I thought was an assassination attempt. And obviously, if it was in fact an assassination attempt, I was in fact shot by a heart attack gun by these people, then it has to basically freak them the fuck out that I survived it. Anyway, I guess this is useful information. And I could be wrong. I'm just going to go ahead and throw that out there, okay? The whole reason I didn't even make a big deal about this, even then, I could have been like, oh my god, I'm going to get a test and figure out what happened and stuff. And I'll be honest, I didn't feel anything when they walked by me, okay? But what happened? Did a bug land on top of my foot in that time period and bite my foot and I had a horrible reaction to it. No, I think that all of these fishy incidents. I mean, when I thought it was fishy, the moment I'm walking by the van, and you know what? The van didn't pull out. I'm sitting there thinking like I had to walk around the van, right? Because the van stops at the stop sign around that corner. And I was like, all right, man, just pull out. Stop staring right at me. Just pull out. You know, I hate when people, Anyway, and the van's just sitting there. And I just walk around the van and head out behind the van towards the Starbucks. And the van's just sitting there. I assume pulled out, whatever. But anyway, I get down there. And anyway, I guess I'll just upload what I got here.